All right, question of the day. What is your favorite kind of mundane working themed game? Because today we're looking at Distilled. Now, this is a game all about distilling different spirits from all across the world. Many of the expansions feature different sections of the world too, as well as a good collection in the base set. So let's dive in right now and talk about Distilled and the Africa Middle East expansion right now. Hey, before we go any further, we have been slinging the Dice Tower Space hoodies and shirts off the shelves like crazy. We've got the first orders out. We're doing a second run right now, so if you want to get your Dice Tower hoodie, and space shirt, put those orders in right now at dicetowerstore.com, and we will get those to you within about a week and a half from you watching this video, unless you're watching it later, at which point this is probably irrelevant. All right, so this is Distilled, and we've got the Africa and Middle East expansion put in here as well. So I'm reviewing it as well as the main game. Basically what you have here is an assortment of cards. The basic market are things like basic yeast, water, mixed grains, mixed plants, mixed fruits, a clay barrel, and a wood barrel. You start with a metal barrel and a glass bottle. Essentially what you're going to be trying to do is go through the different phases of the game to collect the cards you need so that you can produce different types of spirits. Now the ones you can produce are listed here, and this moves and changes based on how you play. You can choose to do ones that are more aged, like a game where you play with more aged stuff or less aged stuff. So this is what we've chosen this time, and you can see some of these are from the new expansion. You have this here. You currently can make vodka and moonshine, and you can always make your signature recipe once you have the requisite ingredient, which you can buy by paying the cost for it and get it. You get the requisite signature by using this upgrade. We'll talk about that in a minute. You have a main character with the player power, like any good Euro would, personal player powers. Then you've got your advanced market. Now these are things that you're going to be buying. Now you can only purchase during the market phase, which is the first phase of the game, 2 of the basic market cards. That limits you from just stretching it out and having way too much stuff, and there's a reason for that. You pay the cost listed down here in money, so these 3 are free. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4. And then some of these up here can get rather expensive. These up here are distillery upgrades. They're things that are going to give you different power. Sorry, I didn't show that. Up there at the top are distillery upgrades. Then you have better ingredients, and then you have better items. These are things like specialty bottles and specialty barrels and all that sort of stuff. The ceramic bottle, pretty funny. Now, what I love here is that you then move into the distill phase. You'll take all the cards that you have, and you're going to try to make one of these recipes. Now, you don't pick yet. You actually take all the cards you want to play and put them over here. You can put them in the wash bag, which would be water, grain, or your sugars and your yeast. Now, you have to have a water, sugar, and yeast, but you can put as many cards as you want there. Then, once you've done that, you're going to draw as many alcohol cards per sugar that you have. The alcohol cards are actually just going to help you in the next phase, because what you have to do, because of actual distilling, you have to shuffle that stack, take off the top card and take off the bottom card, and you don't discard them, you actually put them back here to be used later. This is based on some principle. Now there's a lot of history in the book, it's really interesting, but the top part is actually kind of toxic and the bottom is just nasty, so you want that middle section. So that's the whole point. You're going to flip it over and see what you have in the spirit stack, which definitely sounds like a RPG, but the spirit stack there, and then you're going to look over here and see, okay, well, this can take any grain or plant sugar. It can't be aged, and it has to go in a metal barrel. And that's what this is all about. It shows you what they have to do. So in order to make these, though, during that market phase, you could have chosen to take one of these cubes here and pay the cost. So wooden cubes are 2, silver are 4, gold cubes are 6, and you gain access to that recipe. If you were to age it, the next phase, you would actually skip for that spirit because you're not going to sell it. But normally in this game, because none of these age, except whiskey, you're going to go to the sell phase. You're going to take turns in clockwise order to sell it. So the way you do that is you're going to count up all of the money in the top left corner, and then certain things are going to give you points too. So let's say we had bottled with this barrel and this bottle. You're going to get points based on this down here. You're going to get the money listed at the top, plus you're going to get the money based on the alcohol cards. Now it is possible to actually sell without any alcohol, because you could have discarded those cards. It just says it's a worse kind of spirit is what it means. So once you've sold, you move to the aging phase. Now this is where, if you have whiskey here, you can choose to age this, and if you do, you're going to take a flavor card and you're going to put it down here face down under your barrel. Now the reason it's face down is some of these are 1 point, some of them are 2 points, some of them are 3, and some of them are 0. And when you sell it, you're going to get more money and
a bonus of points for flavors. So it's good to collect those flavors. You also have some private goals that you can go after. There are also a couple public goals. You're going to play this 7 times. Person with the most points wins the game. One other thing. When you produce and distill, you're going to take one of the barrel claim, add a barrel and claim a spirit label. You're going to take the spirit labels, which would be these tokens over here on Carla's board. You put these up here onto one of the bonuses, and you collect that bonus at that moment. Person with the most points wins the game.
So that is Distilled. Pretty straightforward. It's a game all about distilling things, distilling liquor, and you're making them and you're selling them. Interesting concept to me. Now, one thing I wanted to note, if you hadn't been following our videos this year, we have a new rubric system where we measure things according to scores and then average those scores out at the end to get a final score. And that would be, this would be the concept, the board layout, the mechanics, the art direction, the art, the gameplay, and the rule book. And then we take the average aggregate of those and give a final score. So, number 1, concept. I think this is a 9 out of 10 for me. I really like the concept. I like games like this and Viticulture and Agricola where you're doing something mundane, but the mechanics bend over backwards to put little details in there that are part of the actual process. Case in point, the whole take something from the top and take something from the bottom after you shuffled it up. That's a cool thing. So the concept, 9 out of 10. Board layout, there's not much of a central board. There's actually a central market. But your player board has a place for everything and somewhere to put everything you get. And it has a place to slot in those different ones that you use each time. So if you may pick, oh, we're going to use this set of drinks or we're going to use this set of drinks. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in where to put things. It doesn't give you flexibility. It shows you where to put them. And I like that a whole lot. So 9 for board layout. Mechanics, shockingly, also a 9. I like how you do things in this game. I like what you physically do in the game to play the game. Now, there is a difference between this and gameplay, and we'll get there in just a minute. The whole idea of you're getting the cards to make the stack, to put the stack over here, and then you can mitigate the stack by overproducing yeast or sugar and all that. I like that idea. So the mechanics also a 9. Art direction is a 9.5 for me because there's no symbols except money and points. Everything else is spelled out for you very clearly on the cards. It tells you what to do. It shows you where to put things on the game board. It shows you where things go. It shows you when things happen. Really love that. So, art's a 9. To me, it just has that fantastic, reminds me a lot of Chocolate Factory and some of those games like that, where it's just got a really nice cartoony style, but not cartoony, but drawn style, but not in a way that feels like true to life, but also not in a way that feels silly like Cartoon Network, if that makes any sense. So it's got a really nice art, and all the different bottles and all the different barrels, all that stuff looks really good. Plus those barrel labels or spirit labels, those look really cool. Gameplay, 7.5. Now, why did this take such a dip compared to the other ones? Because the main thing that dings this for me is that every turn is rinse and repeat. I got to collect these cards. I got to make my stack. I got to see what I can sell. Then I got to sell or age. There's no variation. There's no, oh, this turn I'm going to do this instead. No variation there. So while the game is entertaining and interesting anyway, so that's why it's a 7.5, not like a 4 or something like that, it is rinse and repeat. So it's a good thing that the rest of the game is enjoyable, or this would probably be lower. So 7.5 on gameplay. Rulebook gets a 10 out of 10. I know, perfect score. It tells you the information. It shows you how to play the game very easily. Has tons of historical notes. The layout is easy. All of that. It's just a great rule book, easy to reference if you have questions. But here's the thing, once you learn this game, you really don't have questions. It's one of those that you just get the rules. It makes sense. So that is the separate score. So that comes out to, you can probably already do the math on that one because it was pretty simple. Comes out to an actual 9, a perfect, one less than perfect 9. So Distilled gets a 9 from me. Really, really enjoyed this game. Whole lot of stuff to like about it. The only thing is it feels a little repetitive. So that is Distilled. I'm Bryan Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, etc. X, Instagram, etc. Dice Tower Bryan. Till next time, I'll see you.